Hello, this is Katie. Welcome back to my channel. This is Marker Monday, episode 4. I definitely did not just put these labels on here for this video so that you could see the names. So I'm using the Studio Katia set that you saw, and then Mama Elephant, Little Boo, Agenda, and Spook Up Some Fun by Simon Says Stamp. The Studio Katia was Spooky Pumpkins trimmings. I'm going to be using my Shuttle 88 alcohol marker set that I got from Amazon. I've had these for a while. This is a look at the swatch sheet I made a long time ago. I'm going to be coloring in, this is just a card, like piece of flat card that's going to go onto a card base. And I'm going to be using, I end up switching the other orange because on my swatch sheet, 23 was dark and 22 was lighter, and they looked like they went together. But the swatches must have aged strange or something. I'm not sure what it was. So I end up going with a different orange that ends up blending out better with this 23. The set overall, it doesn't have a lot of great blends. It has some good blends. But compared to like the keyboard set that I did before, I had mentioned in that video, out of the cheap alcohol markers that are around 80 to 100 in a set, the keyboard had like a greater number of good color blends, if that makes sense. This one is not super great. I'll probably do the CaliArt 100 set next Monday and go over those. I believe I already have a review for them on this channel anyway, as well as these. But I do like talking about them to give you guys more options. I have a couple in here that have kind of dried up. If you've ever had, not dried up necessarily, but if you've ever used cheaper alcohol markers, you know that sometimes they can get kind of like chunky on the tip, like stuff will grow on it. It's not really, I don't know, it's not mold or anything. It's just kind of normal. And I've heard also like companies will say, I think it's like oxidizing or something. It's normal and it wipes off. As long as your marker isn't dry after that, then it's fine. It's nothing to worry about. But on one of my markers, I show you that it did do that, and I wipe it off, and it is kind of drying out. So again, Copics are always going to be the best for alcohol markers. But if you do want a cheaper solution, there are all kinds of sets. You can watch, your own reviews and everything. I think the keyboard has been the best so far out of the cheap alcohol marker sets that I've used. I'm leaving the Ohuhu 72 brush set out of that only because I'm talking about cheap alcohol markers with nibs. The brush set Ohuhu was pretty good. Yeah, I like them a lot, but it is a brush set. If you go for the Ohuhu set with the nib ends, that might be your best bet. I'm looking for a scrap piece of paper because these oranges are very deceiving, and I ended up choosing 24 instead because that's going to blend a lot better with this other orange. I don't have any of the Ohuhu nib markers, and I probably won't purchase them. There is a set of 200 markers for about $100 on Amazon, which is a good deal. I think that's what it is right now. If I had no alcohol markers and I knew what I know now, I would probably purchase that set for like a nib, cheaper alcohol marker set. Because that way you get 200 colors out of it, and you probably wouldn't have as much trouble trying to find color combos. So I think that would be a better option. But these days I am putting my money into watercolors because I'm obsessed now. And so I probably wouldn't spend that kind of money on more alcohol markers that I don't need. And I do have quite a few Copics now. I've filled out my chart pretty well to where I'm happy with it. So I would just use my Copics instead. So I'm using these not because I love them or because they're my favorite. I'm using these to kind of give you an option to make a cute Halloween card as well, but to give you kind of a review and feedback on something I've used a number of times that I bought 1 or 2 years ago at this point. So those two oranges, 23 to 24. 23 is darker, 24 is lighter. Again, the numbering system of these don't really make sense. I'm using a different orange for the middle of the candy corn. I was already filming, so I had to have my husband Google candy corn for me to tell me what order the colors went in, because I will never remember that yellow is on the bottom and orange is in the middle and white is on top. And I didn't want to do it wrong. For his candle holder, I just picked up a random brown, and I wasn't going to like blend out. It was such a small area. I'm just going to make his candle this emerald green, which I end up using on the other candle as well. And my emerald green that I just used is actually kind of a little dry as well. So over time, a few of these have dried out. Not completely dry, unusable, just not, you know, as juicy as they once were. I used this green, and then I decided to blend it out. So I went back to, which happened to be the green I had used, the closest green on the chart. And I could tell it was drying out a little bit. I'm trying to show you kind of the chunkiness on the nib. I'm going to show it to you again on a blue color. And then I'm just using the fluorescent colors because they're not fluorescent, or at least they don't dry that way, like a highlighter necessarily. They're called fluorescent, but they're not. I was excited that the gray kind of matched my nails that I just did yesterday. I was very excited about that. Just coloring in with the brown, not doing any blending there. A lot of these parts are very small. I'm going to be using the BG1, which is kind of the lightest gray in this set. It is a blue gray, but it's also the lightest gray. This set also comes with a colorless blender. Any good alcohol marker set, even cheap ones, will come with a colorless blender, a 0 pen. And this is usually how I do my ghosts. I color them just around the edges with some sort of light gray, and then I use the colorless blender to blend it out, which is, I think, kind of more of the purpose of this marker rather than fixing when you color outside the lines, which it's handy for and most people use it for, but I also do use it to blend out. I don't use it to, like, let's say color a solid surface, you know, a dark blue, and then use it to put little dots in it, because it does take away the color. I don't really use it for techniques or anything like that, like a look. I'm usually using it to fix when I color outside the lines, or blend out things when I just want like a light little ghost color. And it's almost always ghosts that I'm doing that on, or clouds maybe. So then I just picked 35 lemon yellow to finish off my candy corns. And then blend out my skull and my eyeball and my bones. Oh, you know what? There are 2 more bones I didn't color at all. So sorry. Totally forgot about those. So this is the blue that is chunky, and I'm wiping off the chunks. And then I'm testing out the marker, and it is kind of drying. It's not completely dry, but it's not great. Not ideal. So I'm going to stick this down to the card base, since it was just a card panel. Plenty of adhesive. I don't want it coming up. If I do find the time, I probably will be doing a Halloween card swap. If you would like to be involved in that, let me know down below in the comments. I'll probably use this for one of the cards. I don't know how many Halloween cards I'll be making. Hopefully a lot of them. But I'm doing a lot of watercoloring lately and not so much card making. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe some Halloween watercolor cards. How about that? So I'm using the Nuvo glitter to fill this in, just to give it some interest, I decided that a few cards ago that I would forever, on every single card, add some of this glitter to it because I love what it does. And so this will just add to their glow, and then I also add it to the candles, the flames. And yeah, that is the card. So the next in my series will be Watercolor Wednesday. Maybe it'll be something spooky. Let's find out. Let me know if you like these Marker Mondays, Watercolor Wednesdays, Freestyle Fridays, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.